Okay, and now page, okay, so I give you back the controller. Fine. Now you should,
Yeah.
okay, try. Perfect. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. We can start, guys.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first webinar we are organizing. Today we want to talk about the HMIs, about the hardware, and also Simone, after my presentation, will talk about premium HMI. If there's any problem or any questions, please ask. Use preferably the chat box, or you can activate the mic to ask any questions. Okay, so first, the hardware HMI. I want to talk to you about HMI 25, 30, and 40. These are for me the most important HMI units. There are also more possibilities like HMI 600, 1200. We are not talking about today, but basically you can use any kind of PC or panel that we have in our portfolio together with premium HMI. So yeah, let's talk about now HMI 2530. So this is the most frequently one, I think, using the ARM Cortex A8 1 gigahertz. And since a couple of years now, we also have HMI 40 using the 1 gigahertz MA6, the dual core processor. Keep in mind all HMIs are available in different fronts using the aluminium resistive, the true flat resistive, or the true flat capacitive. And in HMI 40 we also offer that multi-touch. As for the memory, you can see that we have the Windows CE on board on a flash. Then we have internally 4 GB available for projects and data. We have a 1 GB work memory, and you can extend the memory again using SD cards with HMI 30 or micro SD cards with HMI 40. Operating system for the HMIs with premium HMI, we're using Windows Embedded Compact 7 Professional, and the software we will be talking about today is the premium HMI 5, where we offer basic and advanced, but I think Simona will tell you more about this. Also included in the HMI we have the remote control software. It's called ASM Ubiquity, which we will cover on Friday in another webinar. Also one point is that we have ATEX certification for all HMIs except for HMI 25. So here you can see an overview of the screen sizes. In HMI 25 only 4 and 7 inch, and then in HMI 30 and 40 we have a wide range of displays starting from the 5.7 for HMI 30, and then from 7, 8, 10, 12 and 15 inch for HMI 30 and 40, where we have as well the 4:3 as also the widescreen displays available. Then for the interfaces, the low-cost version, the HMI 25, has only these interfaces you see on the screen. There's a power interface for the 24 volt, actually from 18 to 36 volts, where we have the over voltage protection, polarity inversion protection, and then one USB 2, one Ethernet, and one serial port that you can use as a 232, 422, or 485. Okay. HMI 30, there is more. There are 2 interfaces, especially interesting when you use the remote control software, that you can use one port to connect your PLC or controller, and a second port to remote control the unit. And also here we have 2 USB ports. If you have any questions, again, just let me know. Use the chat or use the question using the mic. HMI 40, the newest HMI, offers, in comparison with HMI 30, micro SD interface, and for the rest we also have the 2 LANs, 2 USB. And one difference, biggest difference here is we can also offer a second serial port, so one can do the 422, 232, and 485, and only one additional can only be 485. 485 to use a normal serial communication or CAN. An option on the HMI 40, we can offer wireless modules for Wi-Fi and also modems, so to make a 3G or a 4G LTE communication. So this is only available for HMI 40. And another possibility we have on HMI 40 is the extended temperature version. This has just become recently available from last month. There will be a new price list very soon, but you can already ask me if you have a request here. So this device allows you an operating temperature from -10 to +60. And one disadvantage is we cannot offer the micro UPS, which is basically only interesting when using the codices as a soft PLC. Okay, one new unit that is coming up is HMI 35. It uses the same dual core 1 GHz CPU as the HMI 40, but has less interface. You see only one LAN, one USB, one serial port, and it has a better price. This will become available in the next quarter this year. So also here you can ask me if you have any questions. Then the last slide regarding the hardware is a roadmap. We already talked about HMI 35. There is a new HMI 50 coming up in the third quarter using the new Unico software that we showed on the SPS show in Nuremberg. We showed on the SPS in Parma, and that is planned to be released this year. And then later end of the year we plan also an LP50, which means a HMI based on, sorry for that, my boss was calling, an LP50 running Unico and soft PLC codices. What is also new, some of you guys may have seen this on the SPS fair, that we are bringing you front panels. So this is the first step. We will do this for the IPCs, but this will also be available for the HMI, which means the fronts will get a smaller bezel, a smaller border. The trend is definitely to get a smaller border and the smaller sizes, but we will inform you as soon as also the HMIs will be available. So the first one will be 10, 12, 15 inch, and then also the 7 inch. And you see we have this on aluminium and also then on the true flat multi-touch. Any comments, questions? Otherwise, this would be the hardware part, and I would want to ask Simona to continue with the software part.
Okay, I'm checking back the control. Meanwhile, look, just to be sure, is the recording still working?
The recording?
The recording
yes.
Is still working?
Yes.
Okay. So let me bring the other presentation, and so we can go ahead with the premium HMI. So first of all, I would like to show you, one moment, let me check. Okay, 1 second. I have to block my notifications, otherwise we will get some noise. Okay, so the presentation is visible. Look, it's okay.
Yes, I can see it.
Perfect. So I would like to start showing you a presentation of Premium HMI 5. So we are going to see basically what is a Premium HMI. We will talk about the licensing model. So you will see which kind of licenses are available for the Premium HMI components. There will be just one slide about the architecture to tell you in very quickly how the system works, and then we will go first quickly through the highlights. So we will see what the software can do. It looks like a long list, but we will not get really much time to go through this list, because after that I would like to show you how to create let's say, we will make together our first HMI project with the Premium HMI in order to see how, let's say, how to play, how to work with the programming environment, with the ID, the integrated development environment of Premium HMI. So again, if you have any questions, just write me on the chat or interrupt me, just asking, enable the microphone and stop me to ask any question. So first of all, what is Premium HMI? With a look, you have seen we have some devices called HMI. We have seen HMI 30, HMI 40, HMI 35, and also some others are present in the price list. Well, actually, when a device in the ASM price list is called HMI, this means that together with the hardware, what you have seen in the previous slides, you get some software. You get a software to make an HMI application, basically. So Premium HMI is the ASM software platform that we have, and we can propose to you to design, deploy, and maintain HMI applications. Of course, this is true for the devices called HMI. So if you buy an HMI from ASM, you get the hardware plus Premium. If you don't like, for any reason, Premium HMI, or if anybody has already his own SCADA or HMI platform, then they just can get the standard hardware, everything else which is not called HMI, and then use whatever they want. So from where it comes, Premium HMI? At the beginning, Premium HMI, it comes from SCADA development, and actually we bought this solution from a SCADA manufacturer. There's a company here in Italy. They still have a SCADA platform, and some years ago, already in the 2010, we bought from them their platform, the complete source code of their SCADA platform, and we personalized, we customized the SCADA. We called this platform Premium HMI. At the beginning it was Premium HMI 3, then it was 4, recently it turned into 5, and probably it will be 6 in the next month. So we are, since then, we are investing a lot in adding, changing, fixing, let's say, functionalities on the original platform in order to improve and add some functionalities which are required or maybe more needed for the machine builders. So normally a SCADA is developed for the process control. We have adapted the SCADA platform to be suitable also for the automation, for the automatic machine needs, builders' needs and requirements. So altogether, we have a programming environment, so what we call the IDE, so Premium HMI Studio, software we will use later to build up the project. We have a runtime for Windows CE. So in the presentation made by Luca, all the devices you have seen are based on Windows CE, but still we have a runtime for Windows 32, because if you buy a PC from ASEM, then you can also bundle the PC with the software. So the same Premium HMI runtime with basically the same features, that's very important, scalability. So same features is available for Windows CE and Windows. In other words, this means that if you are building up a project for Windows CE and for some reasons, let's say HMI 40, and for some reasons you realize performances are not enough, or some small features required are not supported by Windows CE, you can fully reuse, you can entirely use the project on a higher level platform, running exactly the same project on a Windows platform without even changing a bit. So that's fully compatible across the two operating systems. So programming environment, runtime for Windows CE, runtime for Windows, web client and mobile apps for access, remote access. I've got, we can't hear you. Okay. So it looks like there's a problem with voice. Look. Okay. Sorry. It's okay now. Okay. Perfect. I'm sorry. I don't know where you lost me. There was just one important information. Did you hear when I was talking about the compatibility across the operating system? Okay, so that was important to be clear for everybody. So if you make a project for Windows CE, you can completely reuse in higher level platform based on x86 and Windows. Fine. So now licenses. I told you some minutes ago that we have Premium HMI Studio, which is the programming environment you install on the PC to design the application, and then you have the runtime, which is instead running on the target device, on the HMI 30, on the HMI 40, or whatever device you have on the field. So for what concerns the studio, there's a kind of corporate license. So your customer can buy once, so they buy the Premium HMI license, Premium HMI Studio license, and then they can use it inside their company wherever they want. They can install in as many laptops they want, so there's no any limitation to the number of installations they can do within the, let's say, company. You can download the Studio from the website. So I can show you from where you can download. Probably some of you already know. Moment. Okay. This is the page. So www.HMIT. You can start from the main page, and then you go to Products, Industrial Automation, HMI Software, and then here you have a Premium HMI 5. The main page shows some, let's say, latest added feature. Then you have Setup Download. From here, you can already download the latest available version of Premium HMI. This version includes Premium HMI Studio and Runtime. Of course, because of what I told you, Runtime must be licensed. So if you download from here, it will run just for a couple of hours, and then it will be, let's say, it will switch off. Studio, even if it has to be licensed, then it has no limitation. So the version downloadable from the web is already the complete one. You don't need any activation. You don't need, basically, you wouldn't need to pay anything to use it. Of course, if a customer will download and then ask support, we will ask, well, did you buy the license to get support, basically? But the important is that Studio from the web, the Studio version downloadable from the web is already the full version that you can use to play already today with the Premium HMI. For what's concerned the runtime, then we have the license is, of course, you have to buy a license for every device on which you want to use a Premium HMI. If you buy a device like HMI 30, HMI 40, HMI 25, so any device called HMI in the price list, as I said before, Premium HMI runtime is already included. You just have to decide if you want it in, let's say, basic or pro or advanced. So actually there are, let's say, 3 levels of license depending on which kind of features you need for your application. This is the list of the the most important differences in between the licenses. So first of all, you see a difference. Take a look. You have the first 2 columns, Windows CE. Okay. So if you buy a unit based on Windows CE operating system, HMI 30, HMI 40, the ones we have seen with Look, then you have just 2 choices, basic and advanced. If instead you buy a license for the Windows platform, then you have 1 more choice, basic, pro, and advanced. This is just for commercial reasons. There are no other, let's say, technical reasons for this kind of separation. Now, let me quickly tell you which are the differences in between the licenses. The most important is the first one. How many bytes you can read from the field. In the Premium HMI, we have a special way to count the number of bytes. It's different in compared with the other SCADA or HMI platforms. Here we are not talking about how many tags or how many variables you have in the project. You can build up a project with 10,000 tags. Even for the Windows CE, there's absolutely no limitation in the number of variables you create in the project. The limitation is how many of them, we count this in how many bytes, we read in a certain moment from the field, from the controllers, from the PLCs, one or many, connected to the HMI. So if you have a very big page, with a lot of variables. You have a lot of alarms. You have data logger. All those activities are counting from the point of view of maximum number of bytes. So, if you want, in other words, we can also say, if you are in a certain page, if you are, let's say, if you are displaying a certain screen of your HMI application, the information requested to the PLCs are the ones you need to update that page, because you are in a certain synoptic and then you want to see variables, plus the background activity, like alarms, data logger, and all the activities which must be still working in the background. As soon as you change page, all the variables belonging to the previous screen will not be asked anymore to the PLC. Premium will just switch to the new variables required for the new screen. So actually, you have to count this depending on the actual page plus background activity. There is an indication in any case. There's a little number in Premium HMI that tells you how many bytes you are requesting. So this is the most important difference, and then you see here. Then you have the number of communication protocols. Here you have only 2. Here maximum 4. Then you see the rest. This means, for instance, if I have a PLC from Siemens, I can have, let's say, as many Siemens PLCs as I want. This counts 1, because 1 is the protocol. But if I have Siemens plus Omron plus Rockwell, so 3 different brands, this counts 3. So depends on this kind of criteria, you can calculate the number of protocols. Then all the rest is easy. Number of alarms, number of data loggers with ODBC, but this we will see maybe later. Web client, maximum 4, maximum 2. So you remember in this slide, I told you we have a nice feature, web client and mobile apps to get remote access to the premium application. Well, how many clients can you connect to a single panel? Yeah, depends from the license. We don't see the presentation. Today, Skype. Okay, let me try to close sharing and start again. Look, for you is working. Okay, let me close a moment and start again. Okay, connecting, 1 moment. Yes, works now. Okay, look, yes, works fine. Yeah, from time to time it looks like I have to switch or restart. I'm sorry, that's Microsoft stuff. Okay, so yeah, please stop me if it will happen again so I can fix. Now we know the trick. How many clients? So how many clients we can connect? Depends on the license, because this is let's say, feature subject to license. So if you bought an HMI 40 with the Premium HMI Advanced license, then you can connect to that unit up to 4 clients, remote clients, or maybe Premium HMI mobile clients. So we have an application for iOS and Android. You can install on the smartphones or tablets to get a connection with the panel and then play on the mobile a asynchronous section of your project. So you can check alarms while people on the machine are setting up a recipe. So this is the client. The client connects from remote, but the machine in local still can work regardless of what the remote people is doing, because maybe they are interested to alarms, as I said, to production data, but people on the machine, they don't want to be disturbed because they have to manage production. So it's a remote asynchronous session which allows to access the application. Okay, so basically those are the most important differences in between the licenses. When you buy an HMI, you just have to say, I would like to get basic or advanced. If you do a mistake, let's say, or maybe if you realize later you bought a basic and you want to migrate to an advanced, you just have to call Look and buy the upgrade, and then any HMI, even on the field, can be easily upgraded to a different license. Okay, I see this guy. Okay, it's possible to know what is the highest bytes consumption in the project while working? Yes, okay. Yes, basically, this information, so the question is, by the way, is anybody reading the chat or only me? Yeah, probably everybody. But anyway, the question is, do we know how many bytes are needed for a certain project? Well, actually, in the moment you are designing, actually, you don't know how many, because in that moment the project is stopped. But it would be enough to start the project in using the emulator. So in Premium HMI we have the possibility to emulate, to test the project, and by running the project you will have the possibility to check how many bytes are used, and if you go across all the pages, at the end you will know also which was the maximum number of bytes requested by the Premium HMI application to the PLCs. I will show you later how it works, this. Okay, now, so one word about the architecture, and then we'll go through the features, as I said. So this picture looks complex, but I just wanted to tell you, I just needed to explain one concept. So you see in the middle, of this picture, there's a real-time database, and actually, no connection. Okay, stop sharing. I don't know what the problem is. Friday we will try to use Teams. Look, so maybe it will work better. I don't know, because now it's still connecting.
I had no problem last week, so.
Yeah, I know. But today is looks like no, we couldn't connect the presentation because of a network issue. Okay, let me try again. Let me quickly check my local network connection if there's any problem because of me or what. No, doesn't work anymore. Let me go in and out. Stay there. Wait for me a second.